Ordinary Women, and I'm Margarita. And I'm excited to be able to share with you stories of ordinary women, women in our community, perhaps even your next door neighbour, women who have had a dream or an idea and followed it through to fruition. Their stories will encourage you, uplift you, and hopefully inspire you to ignite the seeds of greatness within your heart. For it's through sharing that we come to realize that we are not Robinson Crusoe, all alone on our own little island, but that there is, particularly now through social media, this network of truly amazing women, women who willingly stretch out their hand with encouragement. Having found this for myself when my life was turned upside down, it's my gift to those women to be able to pay forward the gift of encouragement to others. So, without further ado, I have the absolute pleasure of introducing a remarkable woman whose story is one of extraordinary courage, resilience, and purpose. Faith Labaro is the founder of Nourish Oils, but behind this beautiful Australian brand is an even more heartwarming story. Faith is a migrant, a solo mum of 6, and a survivor of domestic violence, who refused to let her circumstances define her future. Her passion for natural oils and well-being was deeply influenced by her own family background. Faith grew up with the knowledge and influence of her mother, who was a naturopath, and this connection to natural healing became part of the foundation for Nourish Oils, a brand built around the power of botanical oils and caring for ourselves naturally. With the support of Global Sisters, Faith transformed a dream into a growing business. And today she is building Nourish Oils as a social enterprise with a vision of creating opportunities for women to develop confidence, independence, and economic empowerment. Faith's journey has already seen some wonderful milestones. Her products are now being stocked in small cafés throughout the Illawarra region, as well as a collaborative retail space and a social enterprise market in Canberra, creating opportunities to connect her products with communities who share her values. Through her partnership with Global Sisters, Faith was also one of 15 women with product-based businesses invited to participate in a Citizen Day with L'Oreal in Melbourne. What an experience that must have been, Faith. This incredible opportunity allowed the women to present their products, host a pop-up within the L'Oreal building, and receive guidance around marketing strategies, branding, and legal considerations to support the growth of their businesses. More recently, Faith's work has been recognised nationally through the AMP Foundation Tomorrow Makers Spark program, a national program providing seed funding and support for emerging social entrepreneurs. Faith, thank you so much for joining us on Extraordinary Ordinary Women. And I'm really looking forward to hearing the story behind your success, the challenges along the way, and the woman who made it happen. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Margarita. It's beautiful to spend this morning with you.
And it's going to be really lovely to dive into your story. But before we do dive into your story, tell us, please, where you're joining us from today.
So I'm joining you from this beautiful Wollongong. It's from the south coast of New South Wales, and it's a beautiful sunny day here today.
Well, I did my teacher's training many years ago in Wollongong and absolutely loved it. It was a lovely place.
Yes, it is.
Faith, can you share a bit about your background coming to Australia, the defining moment of knowing that your past was not going to determine your future?
Yes, well, I moved to Australia in 2011, thinking I'll be having a fresh start, but instead my life became a test. I came here to get married and raise a family, but it turned out that the marriage didn't go as well as I expected it to be. But I'm still very grateful that I have all my 6 children with me.
And so that's interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes those disasters happen in order to shape our future. So, what led you into creating Nourish Oils? What was the line in the ground moment that you determined something had to change?
To be honest with you, Margarita, I had a pretty good childhood. I grew up in the Philippines in a small town up north. My mom was a naturopath and a massage therapist for many years. So we had shops and she used to train people to do massage therapy. I'm basically trained to do that, but it's not something I pursued to do. I um I also studied nutrition in the Philippines, and I always had the natural love for wellness products. And that basically gave me the framework of what I do now and why I love wellness and creating body oils. Although the real story behind how that's created was when my mom was here on a holiday in 2023. I never really wanted to do anything about business because, as I mentioned, we've had business, and that's like a no go for me. And when she was here, she suddenly sparked something in me. I guess just during our conversations, we spent a lot of time together, and I've I guess I had a thought. I said maybe I should just replace the oils that you use and sell in the Philippines. And she said, yeah, of course, why not? And so I started experimenting on oils and researching all those things. And another great thing that happened was I found out that one of my closest friends, who's been friends for years, he's a retired chemist. So he actually helped me establish the first products to be able to stabilize them and mix them correctly.
And isn't that amazing? Once an idea starts to gel, the universe opens up all of these opportunities.
Yeah.
So, having started with an idea and having help from a friend, what were the next stages? I imagine that, well, not that I imagine, I know every time you start something new, whether it's a hobby or a business, there are challenges. And I imagine that being a solo mum of 6 would have been one of those. What were some of the other challenges that you faced and had to overcome?
Well, we probably both know this because starting a business comes with so many things. And, there's the legal things you got to comply to, the insurances, the establishing your business name, your website, all of those things. So it's an absolute too many things to handle, right? But what
Yes.
I really found was Global Sisters had just come into the picture for me because as I was doing all my researches, they pop up on Facebook. And I've actually told them this before. I said, it's too good to be true. It doesn't look like it's real. But anyway, I signed up to it because I thought, why not try it out? But everything was happening. Like they gave me the login, they gave me all the support they promised on the website. And from then on, it they gave me all the steps that I needed. And whatever I wanted to learn, everything is on the platform. And that really helped me establish my business. And even to where I am now, there's still a huge support of what I do.
It is an amazing organization, and it's actually, I interviewed Mandy, the CEO, the founder of the organization, a while back, and her
Mm,
story is phenomenal. How she established that, and it's all free, isn't it? It's just
yeah.
incredible, and it is step by step how to build a business and put in
Mm,
place various
yeah.
things. Why was it important that Nourish Oils became a social enterprise rather than simply a skincare company?
So my background really is I work in community work. So I worked as a youth worker in the homeless sector, and I am a lived experience and now serve as a lived experience advisory board for the Illawarra Trauma Recovery Center here in the Illawarra. I was part of the co-design and I'm still part of their consulting for any project that comes along. And recently, I'm also a part of another organization here who also serves women in the transitional housing called Siwaks Pajengal. I'm part of their board as a volunteer. non-executive board. And that's always been my passion. And I guess apart from that is growing in the Philippines has really helped me be connected to my community. Here in the
Yes.
Illawarra, I'm very involved with different communities and actively participate and help where I can. And I cannot separate that from what I do. And I've really always struggled to do business without the output of doing something else with others, not just for others, you know? And
Yes. Right.
and so I mean you probably understand what I mean. And it's always this passion inside of me, and just establishing that has really helped me to become a social enterprise and pursuing that and opening all of the doors open, as you said today. All the doors open when you put your heart into it and your mind to it, and then it's it's just how it is now. And the AMP Foundation is part of that proof that it actually what happens when you really put your heart and soul to something that you love.
Now, that was an amazing benefit that you've received, isn't it? Can you explain what happens there, please?
So this is the recent AMP Spark Foundation Tomorrow Makers program that I have been, gratefully part of. It's it's a 4.5 month program where they help you establish your social enterprise. They go through design process and design thinking, systems thinking, up to the product, all of the things, but it's all very intensive sort of thing. You kind of really have time to dig into what you're doing as a business and establishing the framework to be a social enterprise. And on top of that, they support you and connect you to different networks where in the future, hopefully, I'll get, better opportunity to grow the business and grow it as a social enterprise.
Which is an amazing opportunity for a single mom, the ordinary woman doing something something quite extraordinary. So, would you take us back to the lovely experience you had with L'Oreal?
Well, with the lawyer, I actually went to Melbourne, coming from Wollongong. I I I get picked as one of the 15 people to actually go um to Melbourne, and it's really really such an exciting experience. And there were 15 of us among the Global Sisters who has a product-based business, and we were flown in there. We were able to showcase our products and get feedback from the staff on marketing, legal stuff and content creation ideas. All those things were all packed in a day, and it was just so exciting just to be able to do that and experience all of that with old sisters.
And I would imagine that that felt really special to be in such a brand name place, having one on one attention from the staff there.
Yes, 100%. And thank you to Global Sisters for organizing that for us.
Yeah. Yeah, they just open so many doors, don't they?
Yes,
An incredible
absolutely.
organisation. And you mentioned something about your business working with the community as well as for the community. And I think summing up that comes under the word of serving. And we hear so often
Mm,
through mentors of businesses that success comes when you turn what you're wanting to do to be able to serve others. And that doesn't mean doing things for free. You still get paid, but it's giving value to other people, members of our community. So, Faith, from the depths of that experience, your challenges, finances, juggling children, time, and just the whole process of navigating a business, what's the next step? What have been some of the rewards, the insights, strengths, or new perspectives that have come?
the truth is that the rewards doesn't really, it's not about the outward things. I think for me personally, it's all about what I have actually done with myself. Because, going through a difficult marriage has been very challenging for me, and I've lost my identity in the process. For me, the most rewarding part of is becoming who I am now. It's just building that confidence and felt like returning to who I was as a person and better, a better version of who I am, and still pursuing my dreams and aspirations while serving the community that I love, that's really what is more important to me and a measure of success more than all of the other things that you can do with the business.
It's very interesting that you mention those things, because throughout my lived experience of divorce and then cancer, the divorce actually, I felt I did lose my identity, and it took a while to go through that process and become the woman I am today, a much stronger woman. So what you've just said is a gold nugget that I hope the audience can hang on to, because during the process of that, you think, oh my gosh, my world has collapsed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But having the grit, the strength, and the courage to move through that, you then grow and become the person that you have become, you were meant to be, much stronger and more courageous, more resilient. It's actually like I guess the process is like a grub eating and growing and then making its cocoon and blossoming forth into this magnificent butterfly. It's, yeah. So what did it feel like when you realized your products were beginning to gain national recognition? Oh my gosh.
Well, it doesn't really go to my head, to be honest. I don't even feel like I'm already there. It's a matter of the steps I take on a daily basis, and just being authentic to who I am as a person. I'm not, I don't get impressed by being on a national platform or national program, all of that. I mean, I'm part of them, very grateful, but it just keeps me on a level where, you're still connected to the ground. That's kind of how I see it, because it doesn't matter what happens out there. The most important thing is who you are as a person, and you have to be across the board wherever that takes you. I think that really is what's more important to me, more than all of that recognition.
It's the
Uh,
grounding, it's who you are. I totally agree.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and
Um,
also, Marguerite, I just wanted to tell you how, you're really amazing and you're really inspiring, because with everything you went through, you still keep on doing this and serving our community through information and sharing our journeys so that it will inspire them.
Thank you, Faith. But I
Yeah.
love, I really resonated with your referring to grounding, because oh, some things have happened in my life where I was in the limelight, and I would have to come home and clean out the stables, shovel horse poo. And it's like coming home to six kids. It's certainly
Exactly.
grounding,
That's
isn't it? The reality of life.
so true.
Oh, dear, oh dear. So I feel you've probably touched on this already, but here we go. What words of wisdom would you give another woman who thinks it's too late, or for whatever reason doesn't think she can start again? Because I know that was for me, right at the end of the divorce. I thought, oh my gosh, how can I start again? I'm in my 60s. Do I want to start again? Have I got the strength to start again? All of those things go through your mind. So what words of wisdom can you share?
I think the most important part of that journey is to stop and wait, because there is a process you have to go through with all of the hard things we go through. The first most important thing is to pursue your own healing and recovery,
Well done.
because when you pursue your own healing, and it's a long process, but there's a part where you feel you're ready to do other things so that it doesn't bombard your whole life. And like burnout and all of those things, they come back because you haven't dealt appropriately within yourself. The healing and recovery you gotta have to be able to get to. And I think once you're there, you will know. And once you know, your dreams will come, the plans will come, your ambitions will come, and then act on it. Don't just dream. It's important to actually take the first step.
And thank you so much for sharing that perspective of it, because that's really, really important. getting through a crisis, getting over a crisis is a process. It's like a death, it's grieving, there's a process. And for each person, it takes the time that it takes, and there's no rushing it. And for me, what you've said was absolutely true. You go through that process, and then there comes a time. And I guess, too, there comes a time if you've got the strength and the grit to say, I'm not a part of this anymore. I'm doing something with my life. So you have to have the grit inside you to be able to make that decision. But there does come a time when you realize, and you have the strength and the courage from within to be able to move forward. And that, I think, is really important to be able to share with other women going through a similar situation. So thank you, because they are, they're really precious gold nuggets.
Thank you. Thank you, Margarita.
Faith, you've gone from a place where life was happening to you to creating something where you are now very successfully shaping the future. Thank you for sharing your heartfelt and very inspirational story. And I look forward to sharing the story of another extraordinary, ordinary woman with you all. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoy hearing stories of ordinary women doing extraordinary things, I invite you to subscribe and join us for future conversations. With heart, Margarita.